Some of us.
Also, the slide coming when somebody said that 95% of what he posts, he got it from Springboard.
I've been following Springboard, and I think it's a very interesting place.
So much again, it's always inspiring to hang around you.
18 years ago, Springboard, a virtual university, began as an idea, a broadcast that was reflecting on the good society and on the topic, how much land does a man need? Comfort and I were very excited, but we never had an idea about how big this could become. Today, we look back at 18 years and just want to say a big thank you to every resource person that has made your thoughts and wisdom available to our listeners and viewers, every past and present sponsor, mentioning especially the Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard, especially thanking the multimedia group as well for being so committed throughout the years. Today, we want to thank our listeners and viewers. You have been amazing. Thank you and thank you and thank you again. A special thank you to you listening today, and a commitment that going forward, we'll work together to become even 10 times better than we are today and make this continually the place to always be every Sunday evening. So thank you for what you have done, what you are doing, and what you continue to do together on Springboard, your virtual university. Happy anniversary, and God bless you. Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Ocran. Welcome you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Mastercard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, and of course, our friends at the Graphic Communications Group, and then the Springboard channel on YouTube. Today is the day the Lord has made. Today we gather to thank God for 18 years of your virtual university. 18 good years. I'm checking the gray hairs on my head. I actually shaved them today just to be sure no one will see how far we've come. But listen, on the evening of the 4th of August, it was actually a Monday evening. It was a Monday evening. The first show was on a Monday. On the evening of the 4th of August, Comfort and I sat in the studios of Joy 99.7 FM with our first guest being Grace Amel, being the CEO of the FC Group. And our conversation was about the good society. The topic we chose was, how much land does a man need? From the writings of a Russian philosopher, Leo Tolstoy, we studied about a man who wanted more land and pursued, and then went overboard with his ambitions and forgot about his values, and eventually he died ostensibly from greed. It's another story that we'll explore once again one of these days, just to see how far we've come and then how relevant those thoughts are even 18 years from when they were first canvassed on this show. So it's about a good society. It was designed for young people to explore themes like leadership, entrepreneurship, career development, talent development, and financial literacy. And interestingly, these 5 themes have run through our programming for all these 18 years. Yeah, we have exceptions, but these are the most common themes that have run through our programming for the past 18 years. Along the line, technology became first an enabler of the 5, and then eventually the 6th pillar in our conversation. So anytime you tune in or log on to the virtual university, these are the themes you will find us discussing. Our original target was 8 to 35-year-olds, young people that we thought we could program for and guide them about the good society and about how to live a better life. But along the line, we found out that our audience had grown to encompass far older people, including people in their 90s, and I'll dedicate the show along the line to one very special listener, and you will understand why this has come so far. Today's show is going back to the owners of the show, the young people of Ghana and by extension Africa. I'm saying Africa because I went to Gambia in 2010 and found out that we had a whole cohort of listeners and viewers of Springboard in Gambia. And wherever I go across the world, I hear people say we listen every single week. And so this is yours, the young people of the world, and this is your show. Today I'm surrounded by young people, and it's just an energetic bunch of young people. Let's have some applause for my guests. Just so we can run along and introduce them along the line. I'm just going to scan through their first names, and then you just give a wave, and then we know that you're here. So in no particular order, I'll start with Charles. Oh, please, a round of applause for Charles. Caris, Denzel, Mandy, Rocky, Ernest, Nikolai, Matthew, Cherise, Ebella, Chris, Delso, Bridget, and I say, let's put out here of my guests. I'm sure for those watching on TV, as the camera went around, you say, hey, young people, please, this is young people and those who work with young people. So I have some friends of the show here who will not fall into classification as young people, but they work with young people, either in technology, youth development, people development, and they are friends of the Virtual University. They'll help us have this conversation, but it's about what young people are saying. So I'm going to open the floor in a minute, and we'll just spend our time. What are young people saying? And if you are listening and watching us, just send us your thoughts on the social media platform that you are watching us on or listening on. Let's know. What do you think are the biggest concerns of young people that we need to give attention to? This program is about youth voice. It's your voice. It's your show. Let's get it. Let's get along. So I'm going to open the floor and ask my audience here randomly any question, what are young people saying, and what should we know about how different your world is and how unique your pursuits are? Anyone to start us on? All right, Ernest.
Thank you very much. From the perspective of young people, I want to ask how young people can balance their ambitions with patience, especially when the target or the ambitions they set for for themselves are not being achieved within the shortest possible times. How can they balance it with patience?
And let's tell our audience what you do, just so that, especially those listening on radio, they know who's asking the question. I think it will be even more beautiful. So tell our audience in a few seconds what you do.
Sure. Thank you very much. My name is Ernest Sampon Dako, Dark Pro Ghana Limited fame. We are into the production of plant-based protein supplement for the poultry, aquaculture, and livestock industry. So
you're in agribusiness.
Yes, please.
So you're running your own business.
Yes.
Have you ever worked since you finished school?
Yes,
in a corporate organization. Yes. Or
I've worked for a corporate organization. I did my national service with the Adan West District Assembly. That's the Department of Social Welfare and Community Development, and also had some short stints with the Youth Employment Agency and also the National Identification Authority.
So that's your background, yes, and you're running your own business. Let's clap for him. So how many people do you employ so far?
So far, we have 10 people, youth people, men, all within the ages of 18 to 35 years.
So you're employing 10 colleagues.
Yes.
Charlie, you're a big contributor to national development. All right, let's find out. Colleagues, what do you think? NS says he has dreams, but the thing is not coming fast enough. What do you think? Anybody with a similar experience? You have ideas that you want to see action, but the pace is not good enough for you. Anybody like that? Anybody like that? That you have an idea you're pursuing, but you're realizing that it takes time. Yes, let's hear from you, Denzel.
I think sometimes it has something to do with discipline and staying focused.
Discipline and staying focused.
Yes.
Explain.
from my personal experience with certain tasks that I put in place, my mom mostly says, not really criticizing me, but she says it's because I'm not focused enough or I'm not being disciplined enough. Because if you set a time for your work to come through, you have to make sure that you're being disciplined and focused on it, and time management as well. Yes.
So your mom says she wants to be more disciplined and focused.
No, she says it to me.
She said it to you.
Yes. When maybe sometimes I have something I want to complete, yet I don't meet the deadline, and I ask her for help or something. That's what she says. She tells me to do it myself because I procrastinated. So now I have to deal with the consequences myself.
All
so
right.
she gives me the points to look for it to use on my next project.
How do you achieve your ambitions and at the same time do it with patience? Let's hear from Ebola. Do you have any thoughts on that? How do you?
I'll just add that a bit of what Denzel said. You need to be on your path, remain on your path, remain focused, and know that everyone's path to the end is different. So once you believe in where you're going and you're applying the right tools, the right environment, you definitely get there.
I must say, from a personal experience, there is a lot of pressure, especially when people you started with, you seeing them almost achieving their goal and you are actually down here. I mean, from a personal experience, I'm starting this whole entrepreneurship journey in the year 2020 when I was in my third year in UCC. I started out very, should I say, very, very good. I mean, people were like, maybe in the next 2 years, I'll be all over the place and all that. But at a particular point, I saw that my growth was a bit static. I wasn't growing. And I remember there were people that sometimes when I go for pitching competitions, I'll see them and all that. At a particular point, I wasn't applying for competitions and I was seeing them all over the place, winning grants and all that. And I mean, sometimes I just sit in my one corner and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? At a point, I think I stopped. Yes, I stopped. It's not I wanted to stop. I stopped. I mean, people who were close to me would know that for some time now, they weren't really hearing of Del Soy. And I know I'm saying this on air. I mean, people will reach out and I'm like, we are still on it. But trust me, we had to halt because, I mean, it was very, very, very challenging. But then the halt taught me a lot of things, that everybody's path is different. And whilst you're halting, what are you doing? Are you just halting idle, or you are trying to pick up the pieces and then join them together? And then, like Anna said, it's actually going to be very challenging. But then I believe with consistency. So I sat down and I asked myself, what am I doing wrong? Why is it that others that I started so well with are doing well and I'm not doing well? And I think when I picked up the pieces, gradually, I can see myself back in the race. So I think we need to be very consistent. It's okay to stop. It's okay to take a pause. I mean, sometimes you listen to motivational speakers, push. I mean, the reality is you
God
have
forgive
to.
all motivational speakers. All right, so this is Springboard Virtual University. If you just joined us, if you just tuned in, if you just logged on, this is a very simple conversation about what young people are saying. And Ernest started us off with a question about how do you pursue your goals and at the same time have the patience to wait until they mature. And out of Ernest's question, Denzel has brought our minds to the fact that focus and discipline are integral components of the journey, says his mom, and he believes. And then also Evelas reminded us that it takes keeping your eye on the goal and just going in spite of the obstacles that you might face, and that awareness that it would ultimately come to pass. Bridget is telling us that on the journey, it's okay to stop sometimes. Yeah, stop, you won't die. And then gather your energies again and then move on. So let me ask you, I'm going to come to you, Charles, on this. There are 7 things running through my mind right now, and naturally so, it's okay. Is it okay not to know? I'll come to you, Charles, in a minute. Is it okay not to know? I'm asking you. I've gone for an interview before where I didn't know all the answers. And I won't tell you what I said because if I said it will preempt your answer. But
Yeah.
what do you do when you don't know? When the light falls on you, you don't know. What do you do? Yes, Nikolai.
To like think about it.
Think on your feet on the spot.
Yeah, because they need an answer from you.
What's the distance from the earth to the sun? You don't know.
I haven't really thought of that.
You haven't really thought about that. So if they ask you this question in an interview, you've gone for, you want to do architecture.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, she's sitting next to me. Aseye is a third year architecture student. You want to go to first year architecture. She's sitting next to me. She has the answers that you are looking for. Have you said hello to her since you came in?
No.
Since you found out before the show that she's an architecture student, have you asked her a question?
No.
Okay, so that's the first lesson. Wherever you are trying to go, there's somebody just ahead of you. The person may just be 2 years ahead of you, but Charlie, they can sort you out big time. Big time. Big time. All right, if you just joined us, this is Springboard Virtual University, a bit different from what you've been used to. Just having a conversation with my friends, young people and people who work with young people. We are having this conversation about what young people are saying, and all we needed was a first question. Ernest just asked us, how do you get to your destination? How do you get to your destination when the results are not coming very quickly and you need action and the action is not actioning? And out of that, a number of lessons have come out that are interestingly weaving themselves through all the thematic areas, all six of them without we necessarily say we are talking about technology or career development or leadership or entrepreneurship. But you know why I said I was going to come to you, Charles? Talking about acceleration. Let me put context to something that Ernest said, and then drop it at your feet. You being a tech person. And by the way, you promised us an app. It will come. Charlie, when did you promise? 10 years ago.
Yes.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Finally.
So that when you leave here, Bella will remind you that Charlie,
Finally,
you have to keep your promise.
We're ready.
You're ready for us? Okay. Please, a free app coming to Springboard. Let's put our hands together. A free app. When it's launched, I'll refer to this day that it was a day that the confirmation was received. So, in 2006, we gathered at the Fiesta Royal Hotel to reflect on the journey that the virtual university and particularly the Springboard Roadshow had traveled. At the time, the Roadshow was it was in its 10th year. It started in 2007 January, and so it's going to be 20 years in 2027 January. So that's another clap. So we had the first year. So we're reflecting on the 10th year of the Roadshow, and at the time we had 200,000 alumni that we had reached, and we were reflecting on what would it take to reach 1 million people in the next 10 years of the Roadshow. Having done it for 10 years and reached 200,000, we thought we were multiplying our target by 5 for the next 10 years. So we spent the whole day at Fiesta talking about what would it take, how many shows must we have, and at that time we were doing it in person. So just when we were closing, Kofi Daze, CEO of Rankard at the time, or founder of Rankard, and at the time CEO, just stood up and smiled and said, technology can actually accelerate what you are doing. And if you pay attention to technology, you could find yourself reaching that million target far earlier than you think. Yeah. To cut a long story short, by the next year, we had crossed 1 million people because we introduced technology. And it was humbling because one event in Cape Coast alone had 672,000 people participating, and it was unprecedented. But that was the power of technology. You deal in technology. Help us to understand technology as an enabler of a dream that ordinarily should take a long time. I know you work with AI. We can't have a show like this and not talk about AI. So help us to understand the sheer power of technology as an enabler of our dreams for the benefit of Ernest.
Okay, so I think, Ernest, you asked a very good question. And I think if you want to go into entrepreneurship, you will come across Ernest's problem, right? But there's a famous quote that says that slow and consistent, right, is the fastest way to the top. You have to understand that business is not a straight curve. There is, it's not a journey. There will be a year you'll be at your worst, and the next year you're at your best, and then you go to the worst again, and that's like that. And so the kind of patience and resilience you need is what you need to understand. And you have to know yourself and know your path, right? Because life is about developing yourself, not competing with everybody else. In the years of humanity, there's over 170 billion people, but life hasn't been objectively better and yet subjectively worse. And that's because social media makes us compare with everything, right? And so rather than using technology as a tool to advance, we rather use it to kind of suppress ourselves, because you see what somebody's doing and you don't know the stage that they are at, but then you assume that because they are in their up curve and you're in your low curve, that means that they are ahead of you or better than you. But you don't realize that it's just the curve in which they are on, and your curve is what is coming. And then you have to understand what we call the bamboo concept in business, right? The bamboo takes 3 years to gather its shoots, but then in 2-3 months it's up 30 feet high, growing 3 feet every day. And so sometimes you have to grow your roots as a business first before you can scale, right? And that brings me to the question that Albert asked. When you're stuck in business, you have to understand that you have to have people ahead of you, right? People in different spheres. Because sometimes it's a people problem, right? Sometimes it's a business problem. And sometimes it's a process problem. If it's a people problem, then you as a CEO have to advance your knowledge. Because there's something called the law of the lid, explained by John Maxwell. You can never move a business above your limit, right? And so you have to grow so your people can grow, right? If it's a process problem, that's where technology comes in. Because then you can use AI to scale your processes, to increase output without increasing people, right? And use other ERP tools and other processes, other frameworks that can help you expand your processes using technology. The reason why technology is a very important part of scaling is because you can scale the process without people. Because if you're adding more people to do more work, it's just more cost. It's the same thing, right? If you have 100 people to do X job and you have 200 people to do X times 2, it's the same thing. You're just adding more problems. But technology will allow you to scale the output without necessarily scaling the input. And so then you have a better gain. And so using other tools like AI, using other tools like software, you can then refine your processes, right? But I also want to say that people sometimes assume that if you bring in technology, the business will grow. But you have to have a system for the technology to replicate. If you don't have SOPs, standard operating systems, if you don't have a core framework of your business, no amount of technology will scale it. You have to understand with the people in your business and other coaches, other mentors, to help design a framework, a system for your business, a financial system, an HR system, a recruitment system, a process of how you do your work, and then use technology to scale that system, and then you can grow. Yes.
A round of applause for all of you. So this is Springboard, your virtual university, and this is the first half of our conversation about what young people are saying. If you just joined us, we started off with a question about how do you reach your dreams when the dreams seem to be moving when you are coming and you are not reaching your destination fast enough. And those are my words, but NS felt that the results are not coming fast enough. But it has opened the whole Pandora box and we've just worked our way through it. When I come back, I'm going to be asking Matthew, whose life involves seeing people's life change right before his eyes, as head of operations at Springboard and one of the longest serving members of our team, and also somebody who's been with the virtual university for all these years. We've published books about the lives of people that have changed. I'm going to ask Matthew about, is change possible? And then I'm going to come to Asei to tell me, from the architectural point of view, can you sit down and design your life and execute it. Charlie, it's going to be very brutal. Very brutal. So let's go for this break and catch our breath. All of us here, catch our breath. This is a Springboard at 18 production. Just asking a question: what are young people saying? Permit me to do a special and dedicate this show to one of my most loyal listeners of the virtual university for the past 18 years. She listens every single Sunday evening, right from the days when we started at Joy FM. She will give me feedback every week, tell me which guests connected well, which guests could have explained something better, and then which parts I used to actually play songs for her at her request. And she went to be with the Lord at the age of 85. And so I dedicate this show in part to Madam Evelina Otua Ado. Let's clap for her. Let's clap for her. She was so loyal to the show that she had the institutional memory of the show, and she actually co-opted her husband, who is in his 90s, Dr. G.S. Ado, former governor of the Bank of Ghana, to also be a listener on the show. And both of them will tell me which shows they enjoyed. And one day they said to me, we normally will bath at 6 and sit down in readiness for the show in an hour's time. And nobody should call us at that. One day she said, somebody called me at 7 something. I mean, how? So if you think this show was designed for young people, I'm telling you how an 85-year-old woman has been so loyal to the show. She's been buried this Thursday. She's the mother of Lady Joy Otabil and the mother-in-law of Pastor Mensa Otabil. But I celebrate the memory of Madam Evelyn now Otua Ado. And this is our tribute to you right here from Springboard, your virtual university. Let's celebrate her one more time. So, Springboard has been brought to you, and is always brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. In the media, we are helped by several partners, especially over the years, Joy 99.7 FM, Joy News Television, and of course, Graphic Communications Group and the Springboard channel on YouTube. Let's go for a break. When we come back, action. Let's put our hands together for ourselves.
Hello? I had to send you your momo ready.
Oh, wow.
I go here. Start Joshua.
There comes a time when money matters get tricky. When paying back feels hard, we get creative. But here's a beautiful fact. Every time you pay back, you keep the line going. You make space for someone else. So don't break the chain. From Quick Loan and Smart Loan to Extra Cash, Easy Cash, Agent Flex, Ahomka Loan, Express Loan, Busia Loan, and many more. It's all in your Momo app when you need it. Borrow, sort down, pay back.
Momo.
Because when you do, Momo Day for everybody.
Enterprise Blue FM.
Enterprise Blue FM, the butts.
It's DJ E on Enterprise Blue FM. Guys, after the heavy rains this week, we are looking for the calmest person in Ghana. Who's the most chill person you know right now? Let's go.
DJ, he has to be Mansa. Look, the flood entered her house and completely submerged her car. Next thing I see on her WhatsApp status, she's smiling and sipping tea on her balcony. Like me, I'll be crying, but she's totally relaxed. DJE, it's true. Mansa's home and car are destroyed. But this girl is not stressing at all. She just tells us everything is under control. Hey Mansa, how?
Wow, Mansa, we need your secret.
They say Entoa, but when unexpected floods strike, we've got you covered. At Enterprise Insurance, with over 100 years of experience, we say whether it's home, motor, travel, or insurance for your business, Entoa, if it happens, chill.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this enthralling conversation with young people and friends of young people about what young people are saying. This is a special 18th anniversary edition of Springboard, your virtual university, brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation, with our partners being MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, put together by the MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Our media partners, so many of you, but led by Joy FM, Joy News Television, the graphic newspapers, and the Springboard channel on YouTube. And our listeners, you out there, and viewers, you out there who make it possible every single week. We dedicate this to you and thank you for your passionate commitment to this broadcast. I know some of you, each of you has a different place and time where you listen to and watch. Some of you have told me where you watch, and I can't say it on air. Some of you say you are always coming back from a family meeting on a Sunday evening and it's in the car. Some of you have told me other places that you participate in. But listen, wherever it is that you enjoy the virtual university, this is your show. Our conversation today has been a bit relaxed and interactive, hinging around our thematic areas without necessarily focusing on them particularly, and just for the benefit of those who might be asking. Our thematic areas are leadership, career development, entrepreneurship, talent development, and what's the fifth one? Financial literacy. And then we added on technology as first an enabler and then a sixth pillar in these conversations. So these are the themes that we've been working with all these years. And talking about our finance, I think that Cherise has a question on finance. I'll fill that one before we come to the big conversation about can a human being change their lives. So Cherise, you say you have a question on money. Let's talk about money, cash.
So my question on money is, we often hear the quotes that the love of money is the root of all evil, which stems from a verse in 1 Timothy. Is this quote correct, or it's just another verse that's twisted to justify certain people's actions?
Hey, which people? Which people's actions? The love of money is the root of all evil. Cherise, do you like money?
Of course. That's why this is concerning a little, because if I like money and then the Bible is saying that the love of money is the root of all evil.
Sure. You want the cash. Tell it, how many want the cash? Yeah. One day a very popular preacher came to preach in our church, and he says, young men, make money so that when you are marrying, you can marry, because love don't pay bills. I say, share the cash. You need the cash. All right. So Sherry, is the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil. I think that what many people have reinterpreted the scripture to be is that money is the root of all evil. So when you talk about making money, and they forget that the same scripture, Isaiah 48:17, it says, I am the Lord your God who teaches you how to make profit and who leads you by the way you should go. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, remember the Lord your God, for it's you that gives you power to get wealth. God is not against making money. But interestingly, you ask about the love of money. I'm going to ask you to read the original story that started the virtual university. Go to Google and type, how much land does a man need? How much land does a man need? And ask for the simplified version, because the original is a very heavy, poetic literature piece, but there are summarized versions that you'll find a story about. It's being used even in our local folklore about this man who was pursuing money. Started as a peasant farmer. Then after a while, he went into the what they do in farming called a bunu and a busa or something like that, where somebody owns the land, but you till it and then you get a portion. Then he became a landowner. And so he progressed on his land acquisition journey. And as he progressed, he became stronger and stronger until he heard about a certain land that was being sold for 1 Russian ruble. And you could have as much land as you could have for just 1 ruble. He said, what? Don't they know the value of land? He went there and saw the land and he was like, you must be joking. All this. Which part of it is the 1 Russian ruble? He said, any amount you can have. He said, I want all. He said, one simple rule. When you start circling the land in the morning, by evening, you should have ended up, you should circle as much as you need and then end up where you started before 6 p.m. He said, is that all? They said, yes. He said, sure, no problem. So guess what? Caris, he set off like that. And as he was going, the more he went, the nicer the land. The more he went, the nicer the land. And meanwhile, before that, as he grew bigger and bigger, he became less conscious of the needs of the workers, less respectful to people he was doing business with, less committed to his promise. And eventually, the night before he went after the land, he dreamt that the devil had come and he had died and the devil was laughing at him. So don't mind the devil. So he went chasing the land and he saw the land. And then around 12 noon, just when he was going to say, okay, let me turn around and go back, he climbed a mountain and saw the most beautiful valley. He said, wow, this one irrigation. So he circled the valley. By the time he finished, it was 2 o'clock. Now, how do you come back when you are even more tired to the place where you started from? So he came running, fighting just to get to the point. And at the point, he was dizzy, tired. His strength was finished, but he has to come back to the point. If not, he loses everything. So he was running at the point, crawling, dizzy. 5 o'clock, 5:30, 5:45, 5:50, 5 minutes to 6. And this time he was about probably almost 100 meters, but he just couldn't move. He was seeing the finishing line, the flag. The guy began to crawl. I must get there. Charlie, say I must get there. I must get there. Hey! You know what happened? The guy got to 5 meters to the finishing line, and it was 6 o'clock. And he was looking at the finishing line and looking and looking and looking, and he fell down and died. I like that. Oh. But the lesson behind the story is that while you pursue your ambitions, don't lose sight of your environment, don't lose sight of people, don't pursue ambition at the cost of relationships, at the cost of values. And I hope it partly answers your question about the love of money, because when money becomes the focus, instead of solving problems, making the world a better place, it will change your values and change you. So yes, make money and make plenty of it so your uncle can get some, but it must always be backed by good, solid values. The richest business people that you talk to tell you that they set out to solve problems and make money as a result, but the focus is always solving problems and making the world a better place. Good? Yo, Mandy, what question is on your mind today?
I want to ask, would you rather have a high-paying job or do work that you genuinely enjoy?
Hey. Please ask the question again, because this question...
Okay. Would you rather have a high-paying job or do work that you genuinely enjoy?
Okay, before I ask Chris to give his perspective here, all of you, I'm giving you 5 seconds, and I'll take a vote. Me, I don't have the answer. Me, I do have the answer. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds, and then you vote. I'm going to take high-paying job first and work that you love second. And there's no exemption. There's no what do they call it? Double voting. I'm going to count. Technical team, everybody, you are all voting. All right. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How many will go for high-paying job? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many will go for what you love? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are some non-voters.
Are those the only 2 options?
Chris?
You know I would always go for the unconventional.
Chris says, Charlie, is it only A and B? So those who voted for high-paying job, let me see the hands again for high-paying job. All right. Charles, Sharice, Caris, Denzel, Ebela, and then Nikolai, hey, and then Sherry. High paying job. I mean, your vote was determined beforehand because you say you like money, so there's no way you'd have chosen another one. All right. Caris, let's hear why you go for a high paying job. High paying job, Charlie.
Because
no size.
If you do what you love and you're not getting money from it, then what's the point?
We should stop pasturing.
Like, it's to make you happy and you be able to be productive. So at the end, you make money from it. Maybe someone, if for example, you're a pastor and maybe you like what you're doing and you're not getting paid for it, and maybe someone like your sermon, it touched them, then they come and give you money.
Oh, so why haven't you given me any money? You don't like my sermons? Oh, I'm going to ask my church members on Sunday why they haven't brought me money. They don't like my sermons. Carrie, so you say if you do what you love and you do it well, you should still get money. Yes. But if you have the choice up front, you go for the high paying job to save yourself all the wahala. Yeah, high paying job. Okay, anybody else for high paying job? Team high paying job, please. Let's hear you. Yes. Let me go to Denzel. Denzel, team high paying job. Yes.
High paying job, because personally, I think if you have a high paying job, there will be time to do what you love. There will be time to do what you love.
Hey. You finish working and go and play golf.
Depending on, so there are factors. Depending on what you love doing.
Please, if you are listening to us on radio or you are watching on Facebook or any of the other platforms, YouTube, wherever you are watching us on television, please share your thoughts. High paying job or what you love. Don't tell me both or in between. Please choose. Don't be like Chris. Chris is struggling because he knows that Chris has been coaching people to do what they love. And now he knows that he will go for the high paying one, but he can't lift up his hand because it will be a contradiction of what he has coached people about. So don't mind Chris. Denzel says when you get a high paying job and you do it, after that you get time to do what you love, like playing tennis, golf, and things like that. Yeah. Cash first and then what you love second. My goodness. Wow. So what you love is like a hobby.
No, not exactly a hobby or something, but let's see, certain
seek first the high paying job. Yes. And all other things shall be added to you.
That's all. Let's say you want to be a photographer or something. The equipment is very expensive. So
and the money is very good.
Yes. A high paying job, you can get money to invest it. You're preparing for your photography. That's what your heart desires.
So you think photography is not a high paying job?
No. That's not. Again, it all depends on your skill, which will lead to my next
I have
question.
some top-notch international photographers that listen to my show. I don't want to mention their names. They are powerful people.
No disrespect. No disrespect.
So they would have called you right now and corrected you because they fly all around the world. Very, very powerful people. And they charge plenty.
Yes, no disrespect, I think.
Okay. So don't beg them. They understand.
What I'm saying is the high paying job kind of secures it for you, because if you are starting it, so that you love doing, if you are starting it, like Delsoy said, sorry.
Delsoy, yeah. It's Delsoy, yeah.
Like what she said, there will be a time where it will be static. If the high paying job hasn't guaranteed something like a net to catch you when you fall. Maybe when you fall, you keep going down.
Charlie, you introduce another word, a net, a safety net. We'll talk about that one.
When sometimes.
Thank you, Denzel. Let's come to you, Nikolai. Why high paying job? And then all team, what you love, go stand by. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to give me perspective. What you love versus high paying job. Rocky, did you vote? Yes. What do you go for? Oh, Rocky. When you fix your wedding date, tell me about what you love. Let's hear you.
I'll choose a high paying job because I have a family to take care of. I'll think about the future because what you love, you go and do it alright, but Charlie, the money is not coming like that. But like high paying jobs, when you're having like millions in your account, the family is always there. You can take care of your parents, you can take care of your family, you can take care of everyone. And then that's all for me.
Okay. You see how Cherise is nodding her head. You say, hey, both of you. Okay, let's go to team. Let's go to team. What you love. Let me hear perspectives. Let me donate this one to the young people. Since you are the ones making these choices, let me hear you. Let's start with Rocky. Team, what you love.
What I love doesn't mean that I won't make money out of it. I will definitely make money out of it. I love research. So the research I'm doing, I'm being paid, I'm fulfilled. So what I love gives me a sense of fulfillment, and I think that's
fulfillment.
Yes, please.
How big is fulfillment for you as a person?
It's very big for me, because if I'm working and I don't have a sense of fulfillment, I don't feel like I've gotten there, I've reached there. But if there's a sense of fulfillment in the research I do, I always feel happy that I've been able to understand this and I've been able to impact someone's life. So I think the fulfillment holds more than you just having a high-paying job.
Wonderful. You know, if somebody's not in your shoes, they will not understand the choices you make. Yes. And they may even question them. But to you, that's the most important thing.
Yes.
Tell a clap for Rocky. Too powerful. Team, what you love. Hey, team, what you love. Let's hear two more. What you love. Who else voted for what you love?
I did. Look for a high-paying job that you love and do it.
You know, you think you are wise. You can't vote for two political parties. Yes. You are choosing one. The case was two parties. I thought you say that, if you really do what you love and do it well, you will bow music paid. I would have left you. But you say you look right up front, you are looking for a high-paying job that you love. You are voting for both yes and no, true and false, NDC and MVP. Everything. You are voting for all together. Let's say you bring it. High-paying versus what you love.
I would go for what you love, because I believe that because you love doing it, there is this different touch that you are going to implement in that particular duty or responsibility that you do. And you see that it would make you stand out. And by you standing out, it is adding other merits, or you are getting other things from it, apart from maybe the base money that you're going to get, as compared to you being in a high paying job, because maybe that would be fixed. So maybe 2,000. And then you doing what you love, maybe you are going to get maybe, let's say, 500. But because you are doing it with this particular, should I say, zeal or passion, you see that it would be attracting something. So let's say, for instance, my role is maybe I love to speak to people, so I'm a customer rep or something. But you see, and then somebody is a manager. So me being a customer...
Let me interrupt you and ask you something. This program created a platform for you, the Enterprise Spotlight.
Right.
There were 468 entries that qualified to be considered, out of which, was it 20 that were selected? 24 in the finals at Enterprise Advantage House. And you went against all 24 of them, including Ernest. And you were first, and Ernest was second, and you got some money. Tell me the role of what you love and how it helped you to win that competition. Because for me, I mean, let's come down to the reality. Did something that you love come to the fore during that contest?
Yes. And that is, I would say, public speaking. How expressive I am. It's something that I love to do. I love to express myself. And despite the fact that some people had brilliant ideas, you have the brilliant ideas, but how to communicate it out there to people. And I think that is what stood out for me. Yes.
There you go.
So yes.
There's no money in the public speaking, but it can come to the fore.
Create opportunities or doors. And then even from the online meeting that they had, and then I had to like present and all that. So there are different perks that will come from, but you are just receiving 5,000 because that's a high paying job. I'm doing what I love, but it's even giving me that freedom to even do other things on the side that is creating. And I'm also looking at it from the long term, because doing what's maybe the high paying job, at a point it's normal, you get tired, you get frustrated. But I feel when you love something, you still like, that zeal is there and you keep going. That's what I feel.
Wonderful. I'm going to give you a minute to Chris and a minute to Charles, because we must come back to the question in the last 5 minutes of the show. the question that we are asking, can an architect sit down and design life? Can a human being sit down and design life? Is it possible for a human being to change as a result of their choices? Let me give you half a minute each on this issue of money, high paying versus the opinions I have. I will share them here. let's say you first, Charles Karim Busumpra.
Thank you, Albert. So I think for me, you have to understand that you can always do what you love, but you cannot always have a high-paying job, right? Number two, a high-paying job will expose you to work under a certain degree of pressure that may be relevant later when you're doing what you love. A high-paying job will expose you to a certain level of contacts, a certain level of connections, a certain exposure, tools that you will need when it comes to scale what you love. I've seen many people start with what they love, things get tough, and it's a brilliant thing. But because they didn't have the right tools, the capital, the right connections, they let it go. And then later on, they get a good job, they prepare themselves in place, and then they scale up. So I always go for the both. If you have enough money in the family and you have what it takes, then of course, do what you love, because then money is not a problem, right? But if you start from zero and what you love is going to cost money to create, to sustain, to scale, and to build, then at some point, my advice is, if the information is not enough, do what pays, save the money, especially if you're young, right? Save the money, and later, do what you love. But if you're old to a point and you've made some money, then just go straight to what you love, because a high-paying job is stressful.
Thank you very much. And I can see some high-paying job clapping, but just for our reflection, one day a young lady called me and said she was leaving her job. She's gotten a better job. And I knew she loved what she was doing. The company had a training program in place. She knew where she was going in terms of a developmental path. But the next company at the time was paying her, if I tell you, you won't believe it, it was just 100 cedis more, the salary. And I asked her, what do they do? She says, import and export. I said, oh, okay. I kept quiet. Because when the heart has already gone, don't waste your time. So I kept quiet. A couple of months later, there was trouble. They were into export and import, all right, but she didn't know what they were importing and exporting, and the police came and collected all of them. Not everything that glitters is gold, Chris. Yeah. But the points you made are still valid, especially in the light of entrepreneurship, and it brings in the question of, do you start straight from school or do you work small and make money small before? All those things are real. Chris, bring perspective and then let's go on to the last question.
Yes, my quick response is that if you know me by now, you know that I don't do the conventional. And so when you ask me a question like that, I come from the point that apart from a few things, life is not absolute. It's not black and white. And my response therefore is, I'll do what I like. And as I do it with the intention that that fulfillment that Rocky talked about will be there. And what Bridget said in terms of giving it your all so that you are able to create a name that possibly will create multiple streams of income for you. With time, you get to be known for what you do because it's what you love. And then it will bring you as much income in different ways.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Charles. And that's what's beautiful about this conversation. We can extend ourselves, we can bring on perspective, and we can learn. That's why it's called a virtual university. Just to mention that in the first 10 years of the show, we're giving assignments. Those of you who are Latter-day Saints, you don't know that we used to give assignments. We used to give marks, we used to give prizes. Yeah. We will give like this one, like this. Which one is better? A high-paying job or what you love? Then we'll give the assignment, and people will submit it to a WhatsApp number, and then we'll mark it and come and see the top 3 were this person, that person, that person. So you want books, then we'll ship the books to you. I think we should bring back some of those things so that people see that it's really a university. 10 paper, we'll give you the epistemology. You will write it in the name of the Lord. All right. Let me come to the crowning, the close out of this particular conversation. Let me give the final thoughts to Matthew Preparabuatin. Matthew, we call him the brain of Springboard. He literally has more institutional memory than anybody apart from Comfort and I. And he's been around long enough to see all the interventions, Virtual University, Roadshow, and all our partnerships touch lives. Matthew, on your lap, I can see 4 books. But let me just ask you a question. In working with young people, can a human being's life change as a result of choices, interventions, connections, opportunity? Maybe take a couple of minutes to walk us through from especially the perspective of as head of operations of Springboard, and by virtue of that, the person who oversees interventions, and also for the young people that you support. Would you say that human life can change as a result of conversations like this, interventions that are put in place? Matthew?
Yes, and I will say yes, yes, and yes. To say that I have not just heard of people's life change, I have seen people's life change. People I know personally, people I've engaged, and have seen them move from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. It's not to say it's a formula, and so you start from 1 and you go to 3. You can start from 1 and go to 5. You can start from 2 and go to -5, come back in that order. I think the key for me, I've observed over the years, is to surround yourself with the right people, to constantly engage, to build momentum over time, and then also to be focused on what you want to achieve. And you are right, these are 4 of the books of the different people that we have touched, and their stories of a portion of their journey, where they started from, what they did, how it helped them, and where they are on their personal journeys. It's not always moving from one level to the other that is important, but the progress that you make, the choices you make in your life as you move along, and most importantly, the lessons you learn that help you to correct the mistakes you make in the past, that push you forward. So yes, I have seen people's life being changed, and I think that people's life can be changed for the better.
Round of applause for Matthew. And guess what? That's all time will permit us for this edition. But I think that you will agree with me that we can't exhaust what young people are seeing without talking about relationships. Matthew ended by saying that a human being's life can change, and that change is often powered by who you surround yourself with. So in next week's edition of Springboard, your virtual university, this same panel, this same cast, this same group, this same band is exploring the power of relationships, what young people are saying about relationships. And believe me, no holds barred. We don't like easy questions. We like the tough ones. Relationship, marriage, childbearing, mentoring. Do you believe in it? Do you want to do it? What is your idea about it? Not what your parents are saying. What are your young people saying? And how can we help you to become the very best that you want to be by the grace of God? I think next weekend you should not miss Springboard, your virtual university, another 18th edition conversation about what young people are saying about relationships, mentoring, coaching, peer relationships, marital relationships, and everything in between. They say you are a summary of the 5 closest people in your inner circle. Make a little audit. Who's around you? That explains where you are. My name is Albert Ocran, and I've been hanging out with amazing friends of young people and young people to mark Springboard at 18. We continue this next week, and this has been brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the Enterprise Group, MTN Ghana, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. A big thank you to our media partners, Joy FM, Joy News Television, Graphic, and the Springboard channel on YouTube. A big thank you to all of you that have been with us for the past 18 years or less and have stayed with us on this amazing journey. The debate continues on my social media handles and Springboard social media handles. Which would you prefer? A job that you love or a high-paying job? speak the truth and shame the devil. So we come your way again next week. God bless you, and God bless you.